Hi, boys and girls. It's story time with Miss Stevens. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you're ready to listen to this fun story that I have for you today. It's going to be very exciting. How I Captured a Dinosaur. This story is written by Henry Schwartz, and it's illustrated by Amy Schwartz. Before we begin, take a look at the picture on our cover page and our title. Can you make a prediction about what genre this story is going to be? Think about it. Can a dinosaur really ride in a car on the road? It doesn't even look like he fits. Enjoy. How I Captured a Dinosaur. Look at the big footprint. We have cactus on the next page. I first heard about dinosaurs in school. Our teacher, Mrs. Fegelman, showed the class a film all about dinosaurs. I found it very interesting. So I got 2 books from the school library on dinosaurs. And the more I read, the more interested I became. I picked dinos for my science project. I made paper models of different kinds. Then I pasted a small mirror on a board to be a pond. I made some shrubs and trees and placed the models around the mirror. How creative! I won a blue ribbon in class. I asked Mrs. Fegelman if all the dinos were dead. Yes, Liz, they are extinct, but there have been some strange sightings of odd-looking creatures. I started a scrapbook of these strange sightings. I found articles on Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest and the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. Of special interest to me was an article about sightings close by in Baja, California, Mexico, of a creature that stood upright with small arms and a long tail. It just so happened that my family had plans to go camping in Baja. After school let out for summer vacation, Mom, Dad, and I packed our van with a tent and supplies and took off. I told Dad I wanted to check out the sightings, and he agreed to drive to the area mentioned in the article. Since Mom gets easily excited, I just told her I was looking for dino bones. We drove across the Mexican border and south into rugged country canyons, mountains, sagebrush, and desert. Dad found a dirt road to the area I had pinpointed on a map. There we stopped to camp. The next morning I went exploring. About half a mile from camp, I made an exciting discovery. Look what they found. I found big footprints. They had 3 toes. I followed the footprints to a small pond surrounded by shrubs. Here I found fresh prints, sunk deep in the mud. This looked promising. I decided to return after lunch. Back at camp, Mom had cooked hamburgers. She made 3 extra hamburgers for second helpings, but only Dad wanted more. I took the 2 leftover hamburgers for something that I had in mind. In the late afternoon, when it wasn't so hot, I returned to the pond. I placed a hamburger on a rock near the water, and I hid in the shrubs about 15 feet away. I waited and waited, but nothing happened. See the hamburger? I was about to give up and go back to camp when I heard a grunting noise. Looking up, I saw a creature with a large head, powerful legs, and 2 small arms. The creature moved cautiously toward the pond, then stopped when he spotted the hamburger. He looked at it and smelled it. Then he reached down and picked it up. He quickly ate the hamburger. Then he stood up and grunted again. He turned his head toward me. I guessed he had smelled the other hamburger. There was another rock about halfway between us, so I darted out and placed the second hamburger on that rock. Then I went back to where I had been sitting. The creature came over and ate the hamburger. From this close position, I got a good look. I decided he must be an Albertosaurus. From my research, I knew that bones of this dinosaur had been found in the area. Look how big he is compared to Liz. The Albertosaurus sat down on his haunches and watched me. He seemed to be wondering what I would do. I wondered what he would do if I took a step towards him. So I got up and I took 2 steps. He got up and took a step toward me. I started to walk slowly back to camp, and he followed me. When I got to camp, Mom was barbecuing hot dogs over the charcoal stove. "Mother," I said. Here they are. Mother didn't take it too well. After I'd helped Mom down from the roof of the van, she said, "Liz, who is your, friend?" "Mom, this is an Albertosaurus, a dinosaur. We can call him Albert for short." "Albert? Mom, he seems to like you. Does Albert like hot dogs?" "I bet he does." "Mustard? That works." So I fed Albert 2 hot dogs. He grunted happily. When Dad returned, he didn't seem as surprised as Mom, although he couldn't get his voice down to normal. Albert seemed content to stay with us, so we shared some hot dogs with him for dinner. After dinner, we had a party, since today was my 8th birthday. Mom had a cake with candles, and Dad had brought funny paper hats and party favors. They're having a party. Albert seemed pleased with the party. I put a paper hat on him. This seemed like a good time to remind my parents that they had promised me any pet I wanted on my birthday. Oh no. "Albert can sleep in the backyard," I said, "and we can take him on tour of the schools and make enough money to feed him." My parents looked at Albert and then at each other. Dad said, "We'll see in the morning." Next morning, Albert was still there, so my parents agreed. They drove to the nearest town and rented a long bed truck. I led Albert onto the truck without any problem. We packed the tent and our supplies into the van and drove back home. See their party hats? Albert didn't mind Los Angeles. He seemed curious about all the cars, but he was sort of frightened by all the people staring at him. Maybe because he doesn't quite fit. Actually, Albert is shy, so I made him his own private place in the backyard. Once Albert was used to his new home, I introduced him to my pals, but only one at a time, so he could get used to meeting people. There's the big long line of people. And there's Albert in his secret place in the backyard. People ask me what Albert likes to do. I tell them that what he likes best is running through the sprinkler. Look at him go. Second best, he likes to sit on the front lawn and watch the cars go by. I've tried to interest Albert in TV, but the only programs he'll pay attention to are mud wrestling and the Flintstones. Mrs. Fegelman came over to measure Albert. She loved my idea of taking him around to the schools, and the PTA even agreed to pay Albert's food bill since Mom is always running to the market to feed him. The kids love Albert. They found something he likes even better than running through the sprinkler. Oh no, what does he like more than running through a sprinkler? He likes to be scratched on the top of his head. What a cute story. I hope you enjoyed how I captured a dinosaur. Have a great rest of your day. Love and miss you all.